You're going to die one day. I'm going to die one day. Everyone you know, everyone you love, everyone who's ever worried about anything, we're all heading toward the same finish line. And when you get there, when you're taking your last breath, you're not going to wish you worried more. You're not going to think, man, I really should have spent more time stressed about things I couldn't control. You're going to wish you laughed harder, loved deeper, took more chances, let go sooner. So why are we living like worry is productive? Why are we treating anxiety like it's a form of preparation? Why do we think that if we just obsess over every possible outcome, somehow we'll prevent the bad ones from happening? Spoiler alert, we won't. We never have. We never will. Worrying doesn't stop bad things from happening. It just stops you from enjoying the good things while they're here. Let me ask you something. Think about the thing you worried about most last year. The thing that kept you up at night. The thing you played out in your head 1,000 different ways. Did it happen the way you imagined? Probably not. Either it didn't happen at all, or it happened completely differently than you expected. And even if it did happen, even if your worst fear came true, you survived it. You're here. You made it through. And all that worry beforehand, it didn't prepare you. It didn't prevent it. It just stole time from your life that you'll never get back. That's what worry is. It's not protection. It's theft. It steals your present to obsess over a future that doesn't even exist yet. And most of the time, that future you're so afraid of never shows up. You just wasted all that energy on a ghost. Here's the uncomfortable truth nobody wants to hear. You're not actually in control. Not really. You can make plans. You can work hard. You can do everything right. And life will still surprise you. Life will still throw curveballs. Life will still take you in directions you never saw coming. And that's not a flaw in the system. That's the whole point. Because if you could control everything, if every outcome was predictable, if every day unfolded exactly as you planned, you'd be bored out of your mind within a month. The richness of life, the depth of it, the meaning, it all comes from the parts you can't control. The spontaneous conversations, the unexpected opportunities, the plot twists you never would have written for yourself. Those moments don't happen when you're gripping the steering wheel so tight your knuckles turn white. They happen when you let go, when you trust, when you stop trying to micromanage every detail and just let life unfold. And I know what you're thinking, but I have to plan. I have responsibilities. I can't just float through life hoping everything works out. And you're right. Planning is important. But there's a difference between planning and worrying. Planning is actionable. Worrying is not. Planning says, here's what I can do today to move toward the outcome I want. Worrying says, here's every possible thing that could go wrong and why I'm probably screwed no matter what I do. One is empowering. The other is paralyzing. One moves you forward. The other keeps you stuck. And most of us have convinced ourselves that worrying is a form of caring. That if we're not anxious about something, we must not care enough. But that's a lie. You can care deeply about something and still choose peace. You can be responsible and still trust the process. You can work toward your goals without obsessing over every obstacle that might appear along the way. Think about the best things that have ever happened to you. The moments that changed your life. The people who became important. The opportunities that opened doors. How many of those did you see coming? How many of those were part of your carefully constructed plan? Probably not many. Most of the good stuff, the real stuff, it comes from the unexpected. It comes from saying yes when you wanted to say no. From taking a chance when it didn't make sense. From being in the right place at the right time, not because you engineered it, but because you were open to it. And you can't be open when you're worried. You can't say yes to the unknown when you're terrified of what might go wrong. You can't receive the good when your hands are full trying to control the bad. At some point, you have to release your grip. You have to trust that you'll figure it out when you need to, that you'll adapt, that you'll survive, because you always have. Here's what I've learned about worry. It's a habit. That's all it is. It's not serving you. It's not protecting you. It's just a pattern your brain got stuck in. Because at some point, probably when you were younger, it felt like control. It felt like if you worried enough, you could prevent bad things from happening. But it didn't work then. And it's not working now. You're just exhausted. You're carrying weight that isn't yours to carry. You're trying to solve problems that don't exist yet. And in the process, you're missing everything that's happening right in front of you. The people who love you, the moments that are passing, the life that's unfolding while you're busy planning for a future that may never arrive. And that's the tragedy of worry. It convinces you that you're being responsible, that you're staying ahead of the chaos, when really, you're just refusing to live. Now here's the shift. Instead of asking, what if it all goes wrong? Start asking, what if it all goes right? What if the thing you're afraid of never happens? What if you're stronger than you think? What if the universe is actually working in your favor, not against you? What if all this uncertainty isn't something to fear, but something to trust? Because here's the reality. Life has always worked out for you. Maybe not in the way you expected. Maybe not on your timeline, but you're still here. You've survived every hard day. You've made it through every loss, every failure, every moment you thought would break you. You've adapted. You've learned. You've grown. And you'll do it again. Whatever comes next, you'll handle it. Not because you've worried about it enough, but because you're capable, because you're resilient, because that's what humans do. We figure it out. We keep going. We survive. And when you stop spending all your energy worrying, you start noticing something incredible. Life gets easier. Not because your problems disappear, but because you stop making everything a problem. You stop catastrophizing. You stop assuming the worst. You stop treating every challenge like a threat and start seeing it for what it actually is. An opportunity, a test, a chance to prove to yourself that you can handle more than you think. And that changes everything. Because when you're not afraid of the unknown, you stop hiding from it. You stop playing small. You stop saying no to things that scare you. You start taking risks. You start trying things you've been putting off. You start living like someone who trusts themselves instead of someone who's terrified of their own life. Let's talk about the mountains for a second, because life is full of them. Big ones, small ones. Mountains you see coming from miles away and mountains that appear out of nowhere. And you have two choices when you see a mountain in front of you. You can stand at the base and panic. You can obsess over how steep it is, how high it climbs, how hard it's going to be to reach the top. You can list every reason why you're not ready, not strong enough, not equipped to make the climb. Or you can start walking. One step, then another, and another. And not because you have it all figured out, Not because you know exactly how it's going to go, but because standing still doesn't get you anywhere. And here's the thing about mountains. They're only overwhelming when you're staring at the whole thing. When you focus on the peak from the valley, it feels impossible. But when you focus on the next step, just the next step, it's manageable. And then the next one, and the next one. And before you know it, you're halfway up, and you look back and realize, holy shit, I'm doing this. I'm actually doing this. And that's when the worry fades. Not because the mountain got smaller, but because you got stronger. And when you reach the top, when you finally stand there and look back at everything you've overcome, all the fear, all the doubt, all the nights you thought you wouldn't make it, none of that matters anymore. What matters is that you did it. You showed up. You kept going. You trusted yourself even when you didn't feel ready. And now you're here. And the view is incredible. And you realize that the struggle wasn't the enemy. It was the teacher. It was the thing that made you who you are. It was the fire that forged you into someone capable of climbing the next mountain. Because there's always a next mountain. And that's not a bad thing. That's the adventure. That's the whole point. Life isn't meant to be flat and predictable and safe. It's meant to challenge you, to surprise you, to push you past the limits you set for yourself. And the only way to experience that is to stop resisting it, to stop wishing things were easier, to stop worrying about what's coming, and just trust that you'll handle it when it arrives. So here's what I want you to understand. Worry is optional. It's not mandatory. It's not a requirement for being a good person or a responsible adult. It's just a habit. And like any habit, you can change it. You can choose differently. You can catch yourself spiraling and say, nope, not today. I'm not doing this. I'm not giving my energy to things I can't control. I'm not robbing myself of today by obsessing over tomorrow. You can choose presence. You can choose trust. You can choose to believe that no matter what happens, you'll figure it out. Because you will. You always do. And the more you practice that, the more you choose peace over panic, the easier it gets. The lighter you feel. The more space you have for joy, for gratitude, for actually living your life instead of just surviving it. And here's where most people get stuck. They think letting go of worry means they don't care. They think trusting the process means being passive. But that's not what this is about. You can still work hard. You can still have goals. You can still take action toward the life you want. But you do it from a place of calm, not chaos. You do it because you believe in yourself, not because you're terrified of failure. You do it with the understanding that the outcome isn't entirely up to you. And that's okay. Because sometimes the best thing that ever happened to you is the thing you didn't plan for. Sometimes the closed door was a blessing. Sometimes the detour was the actual path. You just couldn't see it at the time because you were too busy worrying about the plan you thought you needed. Now, if something in this video landed for you, if you felt even a small shift, a tiny bit of relief, I want you to do something. Go down to the comments and type 4 words. I trust the process. That's it. No explanation. No story. Just those 4 words. Because when you write it down, when you put it out there, it becomes real. It's not just a nice idea. It's a commitment. It's you telling yourself and the universe that you're done fighting what you can't control. That you're ready to let go. That you're choosing peace. And if you know someone who's stuck in the worry loop, someone who's exhausting themselves trying to control everything, share this with them. Ask them to write it too. I trust the process because sometimes we need permission to stop carrying weight that was never ours to begin with. Before you go, if you made it this far, something here connected. And if you want more of these conversations that cut through the noise and get to what actually matters, subscribe. Not as a favor to me, but as a commitment to yourself, a commitment to keep showing up for your own growth, to keep seeking content that elevates instead of just entertains. 92% of people watching aren't subscribed yet, and I get it. We're selective about what we let into our space. But if you're tired of content that wastes your time, if you want videos that challenge you and remind you you're capable of more than you think, this is that place. So, subscribe. That's what we're building here. And I'd love for you to be part of it. And one last thing. If you want to directly support what we're building here, super thanks go straight into upgrading the equipment, the production, and the quality of these conversations. You're not just supporting a channel, you're helping create a resource that changes lives, mine included. If that resonates, I'm grateful. If not, your presence here is more than enough. The truth is, things always work out. Maybe not how you pictured, maybe not on your timeline, but they work out. And all that energy you spent worrying, it didn't change a single thing. It didn't prevent the bad. It didn't create the good. It just kept you from being here, from enjoying this, from living fully in the only moment you actually have, which is right now. So stop. Just stop. Stop replaying worst case scenarios. Stop trying to predict every possible outcome. Stop treating your life like a problem that needs solving. It's not. It's an experience. And experiences aren't meant to be controlled. They're meant to be lived, felt, embraced, even the messy parts, even the uncertain parts, especially those parts, because that's where the magic is. That's where the growth is. That's where you discover that you're so much stronger, so much braver, so much more capable than you ever gave yourself credit for. So take a breath, a real one, deep, slow. Feel it fill your lungs. And as you exhale, let it go. All of it. The worry, the fear, the need to control. Let it dissolve. And in the space it leaves behind, choose something better. Choose trust. Choose presence. Choose to believe that you're exactly where you need to be, learning exactly what you need to learn, becoming exactly who you're meant to become. And then just keep walking toward the mountain, toward the unknown, toward the life that's waiting for you on the other side of your fear. And do it with a smile, not because everything is perfect, but because you're alive. And that in itself is worth celebrating. So go, live, laugh, trust, and stop wasting your beautiful, limited, irreplaceable time worrying about things that will work themselves out anyway. You've got a life to live, and it's happening right now. So be kind, love everybody, do the right things, go about your day, and most importantly, do it with a smile. Do it with a smile.